Hi, I'm Dawn from the blog parkinsonsandus.com. Welcome. Today we are going to make 100% plant-based chili. It will have beans and it will have rice and lots of seasoning, but it will be 100% plant-based without any animal products. So it will be very low in fat. It will have zero or very little saturated fat and lots of nutrients and fiber. So let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do is we are going to dice our onion. Here I am using a red onion, but you can always use a yellow onion if that's what you have on hand. And you want to sort of preheat your Instapot. So turn your Instapot on and set it to saute and let it heat up while you're finishing up with the onions. So in this recipe, we are going to do a technique called water saute. And basically it's just sauteing your onions and your garlic with water instead of oil. I use this technique often. It really cuts down on your calories and your saturated fat. So we're going to heat up a 1/4 cup of water just to get our Instapot nice and hot before we saute our onions and our garlic. And while the water is heating, we're going to start measuring out our ingredients. We're going to measure out our beans, 1 cup of red kidney beans and 1 cup of black beans. And you want to rinse your beans always really well. Just put your beans in a colander and rinse under cold water and then just let it drain. So now that the Instapot is ready and our water is hot, we're going to start to water saute our onion. Now when you do water saute, it's not like oil where you just put a bit of oil in and then just let it be. You will always have to add a little bit of water as you go, just to prevent everything from sticking. And while the onions are sauteing, I'm opening up my tempeh packages. We're going to use 16 ounces of organic tempeh in this recipe. Next, we're going to peel and mince our garlic, which we will then add to the sauteing onions. And once the onions and garlic are combined and tender, we're going to add our tempeh. And here you just want to break it up into little pieces. And once you have all the tempeh in your pot, you're going to take a wooden spoon and just kind of press down on the tempeh and break it all up into what looks like almost like finely ground beef. And here I'm adding a little bit of broth, similar to the water sauteing, just adding a little bit of broth to prevent everything from sticking. So now that we have our onions and garlic mixture along with the tempeh added to the Instapot, we're going to add all of our herbs and seasonings. Once you've added all your seasonings, you're just gonna stir everything, combine everything, and prevent those seasonings from burning on the bottom. Just keep everything moving. Next, we're gonna add our 4 cups of water, or like I'm doing here, you can also use vegetable broth. And then after we add the water or the veggie broth, you're going to add your tomato juice or vegetable juice. And then just stir everything up nicely to combine the flavors. Now we're going to add our beans, the beans that have already been rinsed and drained. Everything is looking really good. It's combining nicely. And then we're going to measure out our rice. And again, you want to rinse your rice thoroughly. And then once the rice has been rinsed and drained, you will add that to the chili. So now we have all the ingredients added, and you're just gonna close and lock the lid of your Instapot. And you're going to select pressure cook or bean chili mode on the Instapot, and you're going to cook for about 40 minutes. Once the chili is done cooking, you want to allow the Instapot to pressure release on its own. And then once the pressure release button has dropped, you can open the Instapot lid carefully and just stir everything up gently to combine, and that's all there is to it. Ladle up a few spoonfuls into a bowl, and to top it off, if you desire, you can add a little bit of vegan cheese or some fresh parsley or even some leafy greens. Lots of times I will add like arugula or baby kale to my chili, and with the heat of the chili, it wilts the greens and just kind of blends nicely into the chili and gives the chili a lovely flavor. And that is all there's to it. Simple and easy. So this 100% plant-based chili is actually a modified version of my mom's recipe when I was growing up. She would make homemade chili at home when we were little, and it had ground beef and beans and rice. But since I don't eat meat anymore, I decided to try to modify it, and I think it turned out really, really well. So I hope you enjoy it. I hope you enjoy this recipe, and I hope you give it a try. And if you do like this recipe, I would love it if you comment below or give it a thumbs up. And if you want to be part of the Parkinsons and Us community, I would love that. I'll put a link down in the description below where you will receive nourishing recipes and joyful living tips for care partners everywhere. So until next time, bye for now.